Alright, so we are right back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video, and yes, it's been a while. My upload rate has been a little slowed down, definitely, because a number of factors between work and school and all these other things. I just got back from San Diego yesterday morning or something like that, and I definitely wanted to go ahead and put my deck out there, give my recap, give some shout outs and my whole experience and stuff like that, kind of give a little platform for that. So I'm going to go through that all over in this deck, or this video. Let me know if you went, if I met you, if we talked or whatever. I know I keep it a little inconspicuous of who I am and whatever, but I think I'm gonna keep it that way because I think it's a little bit better, and I think the faces that I get when people do find me and see who I am and talk to me and stuff like that, it's kind of funny, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, but I'll go into that in a little bit. But before that, definitely subscribe if you're new, like, dislike, join the Discord in the description below, and we're gonna go through it. But before I start, this is one of probably 3 skillless decks, so I'm gonna let you know. There's a lot of Kid Goku coming along. So this is this one, which is my yellow version that I played. I got top 32. I literally got 30th or 30 seconds, and I'll explain. Well, okay, I'll just explain it now. So I went X02, right? I'll go through all the matchups after I go through the deck, of course, and basically I didn't drop a game. Every single game I made, like, there's only twice that I lost. Yeah, the 2 ties were my Green Broly, and I lost the first games for those and won the second one, and the other one went into tie. Really frustrated about that, but the reason for that is because one of them was a very fun game. Shout out to that guy as far as what we went through and went back and forth. And I'll kind of explain the thought process of how I kind of survived the Green Broly and why I chose yellow and Crusher Ball and Flying Nimbus, all that other stuff. And with him, it was a good back and forth, and we went and it went into time on the 3rd game. He dropped a secret twice on me, I do believe. That was fun. And then the 3rd one, we really tried to play it out. To even play out the 2nd one, he just gave it to me, and we had like 8 minutes. It just wasn't good. We didn't have enough time. The other Green Broly deck, I lost the first one in like 24 minutes or so. The second one, I sided in all my Broly heat, and he dropped the secret at Crusher Ball, and I took game after that. The 3rd one, played it pretty weirdly. It was just all weird. I'll explain it in the matchups, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there was a clear winner there, that being me, in which he was 2 life with like 4 cards in hand, 2 Paragus, by the way, 2-drop Paragus on the board after awakening. Yeah, 2 Paragus. I was at 4 life with 5 energy open on his turn, and then 6 energy after that, after my turn, going into turn. So 0, 1, 2, 3, I had the last turn. He was on turn 2 in time. The time went off about 30 seconds with me going to turn 3, and then he went out and kind of basically, it's just, listen, I'm just gonna say it, it's just blatant slow play. Like, that was definitely a slow play. You know, if he just looked at everything and kind of considered everything, if I drew into a Champa, if I filled the board and just attacked twice, I would have got it. That was something that really kind of made me frustrated, but it kind of made it up for the event. Kind of made it up, and just because of that, it's just like we went into turns. I went in turn 3 with like 40 seconds. People around us already knew, like, I had game. It's just it just didn't go that way. I think it was some intentional slow play. The judge is right there, literally saying like, "Hey, let's go and make a play." He was just shuffling his hand with the 2 Paragus, comboed out one of them. He had 2 energy, couldn't do anything else. It was just sucky. Again, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because if you look at the thing, I was 32nd with what, 14 points. So if you had 2 more for a win instead of a tie, I actually would have placed 9th. So if I didn't drop that game into a tie, I actually would have topped 8 or top 10 or whatever, top 16, or yeah, top 16. So that's a very much of a bummer. This is just the fact of a matter of only having 6 rounds, and gambling on a tie, right? And I think he gambled on it. I don't even know if he topped. If you're watching this, dude, come on now. You're better than that. You can do better than that. That's all I'm saying about that. Definitely made me frustrated. But the guy I played afterwards, the green skillist deck that sadly my camera didn't pick up. Hopefully we can do that later this week if I can contact with him. You know, that was a great match. I think that was great. But we'll get through the matchups in a second. I definitely want to go through the deck really quick. But overall, really performed well. I think this variant is great. So I didn't want to play blue because it just didn't really fit my style. Yeah, I love Senzu Bean, but at the same time, just considering everything, I didn't really want to play that. I really liked yellow. Let's just put it that way. I like the tech choices. I like the card pool. I liked the championship Goku. You know, that's the thing. I just liked all of it. I just felt more comfortable with it. So I ditched the blue. I tried blue yellow. Didn't really feel like it was consistent enough for me to be confident in the deck. So I was just like, you know, I'm gonna play yellow. After play testing yellow for a while and a couple other colors, you know, this is just what I got. And I didn't want to play red because my buddy Josh, who plays 5th, was playing red, and I was just like, you know, and I was telling him, I was like, I was gonna literally play his deck, but I just decided not to. I was just like, nah, I just want to stick to yellow. I want to be different. Oh well. And then I didn't want to play what's the other one, green, because it's not that much. But the last guy that played kind of opened my eyes to a couple things, so that's cool. And of course that left yellow. So I wanted yellow for Flying Nimbus. I wanted for the Crusher Ball. I wanted it for the World Champion. I wanted for Battering. I wanted for Krillin. There's a lot of reasons why I wanted it. And overall, I went 4-0-2, so 4 wins, 0 losses, 2 ties. There's only 6 rounds, and then into top 16 Top Cut, there's 470 people, so it's a little bit difficult. Like this is probably one of the most difficult tournaments in the terms of anxiety goes, because you really have to be a competitor in making sure that your deck is solid and that you're covering most, if not all, matchups that you can, and as well as not misplaying as much as you can too. So I think there's a lot of that went into it, and to consider all those things and just to kind of be there and do this well, I'm very happy about myself. I'm really glad that it turned out the way it did. But for the deck itself, right, this is kind of standard in Skilless. If you didn't know what the leader does, he awakens at 6 if you have a vanilla in the drop, and then you show a 4-star ball, you get 5k and you draw. Other side is that you draw 2 and you ditch 1, and then one of your vanillas gain 5k for a super combo, basically. Just once per turn though. And comparing to a lot of other decks, I did take a lot from other people. So some of the top decks from before, some of the things that I was noticing from other decks and stuff like that. I do want to give a shout out to Joey from Crossbow TCG. He gave me a few different pointers as far as like how I should think about this stuff. I do want to thank other people from the Discord. Obviously Chuck, I know that some of those things that you're saying, I understand, but you did help out as far as the mindset goes, and Devin and everybody else, right? And of course, everybody at my locals and anybody else who took a look at the deck. So I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys. But again, pretty standard. I don't really want to go through all of it, but I do want to talk about the differences. So obviously we have the Kai for any of the vanillas, and as well as the 4-star. It's just so much pressure in that. Krillin is super good. Another reason why I didn't want to play blue. Blue wasn't too aggressive. I wanted to be aggressive and also maintain that card advantage. And a lot of people who I was playing against just said like the card advantage that I had was just crazy. And going against the mirror, which I built this for, I literally built this for well, maybe not directly for the mirror, but just the mirror in mind. And the play in which you go first, you play the Goku, get a Dragon Ball from the deck, so that way you thin it, and then you use a leader card or the leader ability to draw it, and then you pass turn. They do the same thing, they're tapped out. Then you go ahead and play a Krillin. Make sure you have one or a vanilla, and as well as the double strike Kai. You play the Krillin, you swing, you take a life, which by the way they'll attack. They'll attack. You'll take it. You'll be at 7. You take a life for Krillin, you to be at 6. You double strike, and now they go to 6, but they lose out on 2 cards. And now, in order to defend the next attack that you might have, they have to either awaken or ditch more cards. So that's where the tempo swing early on. You have to make sure that you are aware of that in the mirror. If you aren't, and if you aren't aware of that, or if you don't play around that, it's a little bit more difficult to come back. And in yellow, it's really good, like the turn 3 to 4. Well, I said turn 1. I mean, turn 1 to 3 is really good as far as card advantage goes. And later, you become a little more defensive, especially with this side here. But you have a lot of options to kind of close out games. And so the Fearless Salt Krillin, that was the type of thing that I was thinking about in the mirror. The Godly Discussion Whis was definitely for the blue mirror for Preface, and as well as Sensibine on their turn, and as well as just having in the main for the Super Shenron matchup. So that I didn't play any Super Shenron, so that was a bummer. I really wanted to. Well, okay, let's back it up. There's a finals for Super Shenron. I didn't. It's not that much of a bummer, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was really clutch in having that intimidation factor against the blue decks. I did 2-0 one of the blue skillists, and he was just saying like, dude, you got the hand advantage, you got everything as far as advantage goes. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I picked this one. But I played 5 vanillas. I think this was perfect. 4 was cool. I mean, well, 6 was cool, but 5 is just about right. And the Tien is cool. I mean, this is just another target for Dimension Support Trunks, and as well as Training Button Krillin. I wanted to keep these ratios right where they needed to be. And then 4 Goku, never had a problem with that. 3 Android 8. A lot of people might think this is not the right ratio, but I personally think it is. The only time that I wanted an Android 8 is to remove something. Never really wanted to see it for another vanilla. That was just to thin out the deck and see if I can get some more combo power. Other than that, that's really about it. Having 2 of these guys on board with one of the Gokus is amazing. So that way you can proc off both of their auto effects to KO something. That's pretty much it. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really feel like it was a problem throughout the day. And then the Son Goku Adventure Begins is the SR that gets you the ball, and as well as two drop or pay 2 and then the get the vanilla. So that was cool. I mean, this is the engine of the deck. Even if you don't see it, you have 5 chances to get the 4-star and 4 to get the Goku, in which, you know, they're pretty much, you know, they're one and the same, right? They're both combo power. They both make your deck draw and as well as thin out. And they both are good for recursion in the 3-drop and as well as the 4-star. And of course, if you don't have a 3-drop, you can play a 2 or less, but no one really wants to do that, right? And then I went with the Master Roshi Strict Instructor, the 4 or less, instead of the Temporal. So 2 reasons. The reason being that I have a lot of Overwhelm in Mira, Demigra, Trunks, and as well as Mass Saiyan. So I think, you know, the Mass Saiyan is amazing in the mirror. Like it's just really good. Like 5 or less, getting 2 of these guys and then a Goku, or 2 of these, one. Well, let's say multiple. Let's say 2 Android 8, 1 Goku, and 1 vanilla, or 3-drop and 2 of these guys, or 1 of each of these guys. Really good. That forces them to actually go into a power burst to get it back and waste a counter. So that's something. But the reason for that is, again, I didn't really have 5 and drop at all times. If you built it around that, it's great. But if you don't, the Master Roshi is inherently better. That's another reason why I don't play the Planet Vegeta in my old build. I used to have that so I can stretch out the super combo, and as well as explosive Kid Goku with the 4-drop starter Goku Time to Fight. That was really good tech. I loved it, but because of the way how I built the deck later on and went into something else, like it just went into a different direction. So I just took it out. It was just too situational for one, and the other thing was that everything else just didn't mesh well with it. So I really wanted to make everything consistent as possible. Same thing with Training Button Krillin. You know, you play this out a little bit early if you don't play out the Dimension Support Trunks. Even if you don't play the Dimension Support Trunks, it's good, because now if you play the Dimension Support Trunks for 3, you get out the 2-drop from there. So that way you do this first. It's only 3 in drop and 1 energy. Is really good, and you just have a double striker for the vanilla. Obviously you don't get the 5k boost from 4-star, but it's still pretty good because it has a skill, it has critical. But after they kill off the Son Goku, which does happen sometimes, you can go ahead and use Training Button Krillin, and then again in the mirror, I don't really want it this at 4. 3 was perfectly fine, but you just minus 5k the Android 8, and then or the Son Goku if they don't have the Android 8, and then get him back. So it's just been good. It's just like this, just super good. It's just really good, especially with the double strikers. Again, Massane is really good in the mirror. Double striker who can end game. I actually ended the game with this guy as well. So 1 energy, 5 and drop, really good. Mirror crit absorb. The reason why I'm playing him is because it's an alternate win con with Demigra, and then the bad ring is just really good for that. I'm World Champion can be a target for that, or any of your other yellow targets for that. Never had an issue as far as that goes. It won me 1 game, and then it helped me push for game earlier than that using bad ring. So bad ring, especially against Nemba, which I'll go into, don't worry, for my side, is really, really good. But Demigra, the $100 card now. Can we talk about that? Can we just acknowledge that as $100 now? Back then when I was saying like, why is Demigra like $40 or something like that? Why is the price going up? It's really hilarious now that I think this is only going to go higher. If I had to be real with you, I think it's only going to get higher, because there's going to be other decks that utilize it, and it's just such a good finisher. Yes, 5 energy, really tough, but in the mirror, if you go first, I would say like 70% of the time that I use Demigra against the mirror, I see their Demigra, especially if I'm on the play, so that's always a good feeling. I would have tapped out for it, or if I'm at 6 energy somehow and they don't play it first, it's always really good. But yeah, super good card. You swing, see their hand, 4 cards ripped out. Mira, you know, the whole 5k and warp, is not much I can say about that. I'm World Champion, really good for just drawing, just plussing a little bit. Like if you have the open energy, especially yellow, and you have that, if you have the Goku, which you should on the board at all times, it's just a +2. It's just not much to talk about there. 5 4-star balls, perfect ratio. Josh played 6. The guy who I was talking about, who played Red Skillless and who plays 5th. We'll get into that later in his deck profile, don't worry. But we'll talk about that. But 5 is just right. You can't see me, but it's just right. I think that's a perfect number. Power Burst, I never had an issue with that. I did charge them sometimes though, so I gotta be careful about that in the future. Power Burst at 4, didn't play any other counters other than Flying Nimbus in the side. So quickly in the side, Crusher Ball for the AOD matchup. I was very aware of that deck. I didn't play against it, but I knew exactly how it worked and what it had, all that other stuff. Crusher Ball is really good for not only the secret, but also all of the stuff that comes following after that. So I was very proud about that one, to tech that in, as well as Green Broly. So Green Broly for the secret, which that did win me one. Crushed Ball that secret super fast. You know, when I played in the main, yeah, maybe switch this with the Whis. I think I'm trying to think like Crisis Crusher's main in Super Shenron, so it's a little bit hard. The Massane does work against Super Shenron too, because it goes with warp instead of drop. And it's only 1 cost, because when you're defending and they pass turn and they have like 2 or 3 bombas or something like that, or these low costs and like Krillins or whatever, you can just clear the board and then swing for double and then make them waste it in the gate or take it. So yeah, that's just me. I don't know. I would say maybe that's something I would change. Just put that in the main instead. But I didn't want to be too extra card heavy, which ended up being one of the reasons why I tied. So we'll get into that. 2 Crusher for the Green Broly, all that other stuff you already know. Flying Nimbus for Super Shenron as well as Green Broly. That helped a lot. I used it a couple times against those matchups. Gali Destruction Waste for the Super Shenron, as well as anything else that was untapped. Like I was gonna say Janemba, but that yeah, not really. Anything on their turn is not. Yeah, that's all I can really think of. Dark Power, I kind of feel like I wanted to play a 3rd one of this for the Pan matchups. The Super Shenron, I really just didn't want to play Super Shenron. that's the thing. I just like the whole side is there for him and Broly. And then Pans, I know, like that's what I was saying for that. Didn't play any baby, so I'm happy about that. Would have been a little bit rough, but I think I would have pulled it through. The Cronoa, I respected the Cronoa, I respected the Shigesh, so I was very in between, right? So as you can tell, there was no TN in the side. My first matchup as a karma thing, as soon as I saw it, was Janemba, and I was like, fuck me, because I was just like, that's exactly what I get. So Cronoa for Janemba, I mean, for TN, hey, I can understand it, or Tau for TN. Didn't play any slug, I respected the slug as well. Those are just the things I was thinking of. And then the other thing is that this doesn't really have too much of a bad matchup against Slug. It's just really rough for him if you play it right. And then yeah, that's really about it. I would switch that for TN maybe. And then 3 Bardock. Yeah, 3 Bardock. I used this twice in a row. So like the first turn and then the second turn. against Green Broly, and it just kind of messed up their day. They wasted one Cold Bloodlust, but I was like, okay, and then the next turn I just kind of negated, or that turn I negated, or their turn I negated, and then the next turn I just use it again. So it's just how it be sometimes, you know. So this does work. I think this was really good. Should I use it at 2? Yeah, I think so. I think this at 2, maybe one more Dark Power, or this at 2 and one more, I don't know, maybe one more Double Striker, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can think of, because it really helps against the Green Broly matchup, in my opinion. So let's talk about matchups and the event, and that's pretty much all I got for you guys. But the matchups were the first round Janemba. I didn't have any TN, so my game plan was to fill the board up, and then force him to attack to awaken me early, because I already knew one of them, like one of the vanillas, is going to be the drop, so I can awaken early. He's just doing all the work for me. And the other thing was that I make sure to have Goku out and then only play things from the drop. So nothing from the deck. I charge my super combos. I charged my Whis. I sided them out afterwards for, I think, 2 Crusher Ball. And the reason why I did Crusher Ball is because of the new Janemba. So if he used the new Janemba like a couple times, so I was like Crusher Ball, so that way I can prevent the critical swing. And then the 3-drop Janemba is going to be another target for that. So if they tap out for that, just Crusher Ball it. 3 Flying Nimbus for the Super Shun run. Yes, they can bad ring, but they do waste it. I would highly recommend, if you do put this in at 3 or whatever, just use it early, like turn 2, so that way you have an open energy right after. And as well as if they bad ring it, then they just wasted one of them. They generally play 1 to 2, and if they play an extra in the side, well, you just kind of have to use your power burst instead. So using your open energy and then use sparking for power burst is usually pretty good, so that way you have your Flying Nimbus right after for the next attack, and you just combo out the first one. But that's my thought process on that. And then the Golly Destruction, same thing for the stuff that I talked about before. Same thing for Dark Power, Cronoa, all that other stuff. So I mean, that's you know, you get what I'm saying. So the Janemba, that was really good. Just play everything from the drop and don't draw that much. Just be patient with it. Just fill the board with Training Burning Krillin and the Kid Goku, all that. One of the things that did mess me up a little bit was this 3-drop Vegeta that returns everything to hand, but it kind of helped me out because I didn't have to worry about recursing it, getting it from drop, anything from drop instead, and just play it out again. Second round was Broly DT, I do believe. Yeah. Shout out to you, man, if you are watching this. It was a fun match. It was just, you know, I had Cronoa. I had the advantage. I had the card advantage. I put pressure where I needed to be with Krillin, as well as Double Strike Kai. Yeah, that's it. 2-0. So 2-0 Janemba, 2-0 him. Third round was Blue Skillless, which is exactly the matchup that I wanted to play. That was the person I was saying, like, yeah, I had so much card advantage, and I was just like, yeah, that's some good stuff. And then Whis was a really good intimidation factor. Sided in one more. It took out, I don't know, I think I took out one of the world champions, and I forget which one I took out, but I took out something for it. And then the next one was Green Broly. That was the one I was saying. We went to time. It was a good match. The next one was the person who salt played me with Green Broly. It was 1-1 for both of those matches, and it ended up in a tie. And the last one was against Green Skillless. It was the person who did a deck profile, but it got corrupted. If you're watching this, like I said, great match. I won the first one. The second one, we were at 17 minutes after the first match. It was an hour long. There's 17 minutes left after the first match. He looked at the time. He was like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. He was like, I don't want to play anymore. So he gave it to me, and I'm really, really grateful about that, because it just takes good sportsmanship as far as that goes. Yes, we could have played it out. Yes, I think if I was aggressive enough, I could have won after 17 minutes, but I didn't want to take the chance. He didn't want to take the chance. He didn't want to play it again. I can understand that. So respect to him. Thank you for that. I am cool with admitting that. I'm cool with saying that. It's, you know, it's the truth. Nothing about it. If he played it out, hey, I would do my best to win it. If he got it, then it just would have been a tie. It's not good for either one of us. So yeah. Overall, very, 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 very cool event. The registration process and core TCG in general was kind of a shit show. I'm not afraid to say that either. Like, I think they deserve, and anybody who is a company or is a thing, like, you can give me feedback and I'm sure they'll take it. I'm sure I'll take it in any way possible. But honestly, like, I was this close. You can't see me. I was this close of not playing an event due to not pre-registering or not being on the list after pre-registering. So I got the email, I got everything as far as confirmation. I just was not on the list, and it was just really bad. I had to talk to a lot of people. I had to make a big deal about it. All bad. And I was not alone. There was dozens of people who went through the same thing. There was hundreds of people in line, maybe 150, maybe, I don't know. There's videos on Facebook that for people who want to see them. And then for that, I mean, that's the thing. It was just so many people, and it was like 20 minutes left in registration. It was supposed to start at 11. We started like at 12 or 1. It was just all bad, but I'm really glad that most people got in. I'm glad that I got in. I'm glad. I'm shout out to whoever let me in and said like, hey, just let them in, just register me. So shout out to you, whoever the manager. I don't know people's names. I just speak. So really, I really am grateful for that. The rest of the event wasn't too bad. 30 minutes in between the rounds was a little frustrating, but it did get quicker as people dropped. So I'm thankful for that. Every single person that I played against, 7th person was helping me, was awesome. And I'm really, really glad to meet everybody who recognized my voice or my playing mat, or eventually found that I was me, I guess. So I'm really, 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 really glad. Like I'm not trying to be you know, overzealous or fake or whatever. I'm honestly 100% grateful, and the fact that we're trying to I'm gonna get to 3,000 soon is incredible. Like I have no idea what to do. I might do a giveaway, I might do some changes, I don't know. But honestly, all the people I met, people from Scatter Report, people from the Discord, people from random tables, people who crowded around when I was doing the deck profile, people who I met who apparently I play on Untap, everybody. Shout out to Henry Doe who placed to what, top 9, top 10 with his Hurrigan AOD. Same guy who I profiled who did the Golden Frieza in Vegas. Wicked, absolutely wicked. He was running down when he found out he got top 16. It was funny. Shout out to Josh who got 5th, who playing Red Skillets from our locals. Shout out to everybody in the locals supporting me as well. But if anything, this is just a taste. Like honestly, me getting top 32 and just like a smidgen of I could have been top 10 at a 470 people event makes me feel pretty good, and it makes me feel pretty confident. But overall, again, really, really fun event. All the people I met, if you saw the video for the power up and all the other stuff, please go check that out. Yeah, it was super cringy. I was there for like half of it and I had to go. I was just like, nah, I can't do this anymore. But it was fun, and it really shows the community and like how we can kind of, I don't know, just have fun with it. It's not all that serious. Like I was there to win, to be real. I was really there to compete and do my best, but everything else that came with it, it was all good. Oh, and as well as team events. So team events, we went X3. Sadly, we went 3-3. I played Slug. I went 14-4, I do believe, overall, if that sounds about right as far as all the matches. I dropped two games, so one due to time and one due to Broly GT. That was the guy from DBZ Dudes. And then yeah, Lord Slug was amazing. Like if you guys want to see that deck real quick, this is more or less the deck that I ran. I think I took out a couple things. So I took out Tenacious Spirit Son Gohan for 2 Super 17s. I took out a couple things in the side, I do believe. I don't remember. There was some issues with my list, and it's just a miscount. I had to do some last minute changes, but I do believe it was Super 17 instead of the Gohans. And I think I took out I took out these two, but everything else ran pretty much beautifully. Like it was very easy to side out the Father Son Kamehameha if it wasn't going against Broly. I did go against him, 2-0'd him. I 2-0'd every single opponent that I won against. Every person I lost against, you already know. But yeah, overall, really, really good deck. I like, honestly, just super clean. Like right there, right? It's just really good. Paragus was clutch. Frieza Army Pod I used a few times. That's some fun tech that I put in just so I can have a little bit of draw. Like I think Lord Slug kind of falls off like mid to late game if you're not closing everything out when you should be, and it loses out on card advantage. So I think Frieza's Army Pod, Healing Pod, helps a lot with that. And then 3 Preemptive Strike, shout out to the Green Skillets player, I think was super clutch as well. Overall, like I said, really good fun. My teammates played Broly Veggies, and then Yellow Skillet, so much of my deck, and that's really about it. Let me know if I saw you. Like I said, let me know if you competed, what you got. Yeah, I talked quite a lot as far as the recap goes, so I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Later.
Okay, it's childish, can't be no homegirl dropping like the NASDAQ. Move white girls like just coke up my ass crack. Move black girls, cause man, fuck it, I'll do either. I love pussy, I love bitches, dude, I should be running Peter in Adidas with some short shorts. B-O-O all over me, my green is where it's supposed to be. Your green is in my grocery. This Asian dude, I stole his girl, and now he got that Koji beef. My dick is like an accent mark, it's all about the over-E.